Welcome everyone, I'm Peter Bowden. Welcome to this session on Meet the Minister videos, and specifically how we can use them to support membership development. I have a real heart for newcomers to our congregations. I was painfully shy growing up through my experience in a UU congregation and being involved in leadership that I opened up over time and grew into the person I am. Thank you all for helping me with that. But so I have a real heart for people who are kind of tentative about getting involved in a congregation, nervous, especially after the past few years. So in this session, I'm going to share just some of the key strategies around why I think it's essential that we use Meet the Minister videos on congregational websites and the benefit in terms of membership development, some of the psychology and how that kind of content available on demand on your website can really support your visitors and help more of them move from just exploring online to actually connecting with your congregation. So if you haven't done so already, say hi in the chat. We have Anne and Larry. Nate's joining us. Glad you're all here. If you want to tell me a little bit about your role, some of you I know already, but feel free to say so in the chat live or on the replay. This session is an extension of my video message academy for congregations training. Some of the members asked if we could do some live sessions, like live stream sessions that we could invite others to, just to get more of their congregations involved. And for me, as I'm helping congregations implement strategies, we just need to do more to help people understand this is why this is important. So I thought this was a good session to share. So let's talk, how can putting video content on your website, specifically a Meet the Minister video, help your visitors and support your membership development? So I am a lifelong Unitarian Universalist, married a Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Amy Friedman, in 2004. I have years of experience talking to newcomers in congregations, both just from my own experience, but then also as a minister's spouse. And the number of times that I've met newcomers, and I'm always like a power greeter wherever I am, the number of times that I've met someone and kind of learned about their story, and I kind of tried to figure out how is it, or what was it that was the catalyst for their visiting the congregation and coming on site. So many stories of people saying, I had heard about the congregation. Oh, I was kind of aware of the congregation. Oh, I know I have a friend in the congregation. All these things about general awareness. But it wasn't until I met Amy, say, that's my wife, at a wedding, a funeral, at a public protest, or just out in the world, that I was like, oh, I should go. And so I've just developed this keen understanding that, or clear understanding that one of the objectives, like educational objectives, people have, whether they realize it or not, before they're going to feel comfortable visiting a congregation is, do I feel comfortable with the leader? And if you've been, maybe you haven't been involved in a congregation or religion before, this could be totally new. Or even if you've been involved in another congregation and you don't know what this one is like, until you actually get to know the minister in a more personal way and really get a sense of like, oh, this person's a human. I can relate to this person. Until you help people have that experience, not knowing the minister is a barrier. And so also through my workshops with membership professionals and administrators, I've heard that there are more and more occasions when people reach out to a congregation and say, oh, we'd like to meet with the minister. And the person fielding those inquiries will say, oh, what's this regarding? Is it a wedding or other rite of passage? And it's like, no, we just want to meet the minister. We're ready to visit or ready to join. I say, well, we've never met you before. Who are you? They're like, oh, we've been doing our online research and we've narrowed it down to your congregation. And the last step before we get involved is meeting the minister. So like that critical activity, meeting the minister, which we would think, does that happen when people actually walk from the parking lot into your congregation and attend a service? Does it happen there? Increasingly in our digitally oriented world, people want that sense of comfort of knowing the minister, feeling like, yes, I can see this person as my minister, or I respect this person as a leader, or I can see this. They want that before they visit. So for us, if we're looking to help people coming through your website, researching whatever brought them there, to help them make the determination that they're going to feel comfortable and are excited to visit your congregation, placing a minister video, Meet the Minister video on your website is fantastic, fantastic. If any of you have any kind of content like that on your website, feel free to let me know. I'm always looking for more examples. So what would this look like? Well, so just as I'm working with people on kind of evaluating websites and having people explore websites with, like, I've done some things where I'll have people look at a website as if they're a visitor, and I'm watching them do that on a Zoom session. So they're sharing their screen. I'm kind of there with them, like taking someone I know and say, hey, will you visit this website for me? As part of like a review process. Almost every time they're like, all right, what's this? All right, well, who's the leader? And they go to the About Us section. It's like staff or Meet the Minister. And they're like, all right. And I can see them like, all right. There's a little photo, name, a little blurb. And it's kind of, there's always like this, like, what is that? There's uncertainty, there's anxiety. So imagine when a newcomer lands on your website, if they, maybe they go to your first-time visitor page first. We're going to talk about first-time visitor pages and associated video content this time next week. But say they then check out your staff page, or maybe there's a little feature on the front page of your website somewhere. Meet the minister, meet Reverend so-and-so, and right then and there, they can click, and it's not a worship service. It's not some event where the person is preaching to an audience, a group of people. It's that human being talking to the people, exploring the website, just the way I'm talking to you. And so, like, really bringing this personal sense. Like, sometimes I'll tell colleagues, imagine there's a newcomer in town and they say, hey, I'd like to get to know you a little bit before I bring my family to the congregation. Can we have coffee or meet at the congregation? And you sit down and have a conversation. Well, what do you think you would talk about in that conversation? Who are you? How'd you get involved in ministry? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A little bit about your story. Maybe if it's a Unitarian Universalist congregation, what's that about? How did they come to be in the town where they are? Just like, what is it that's going to actually help people feel a sense of like, oh, this person is a human being, someone I relate to. There's a lot of research that shows after very little time watching a video, we can get a good sense of like, are we going to like someone? Are you going to like this class? Are you going to enjoy this program with that person? And so really just like prioritizing, like if we want people, like the majority of all newcomers to our congregations come through the website first. And when those websites are overloaded with text, lots of information, and there aren't human beings there through video content, but also photos, we're missing out on the relational aspect that I think increasingly people want. So I want you to know that it is very hard, the challenge that we're being given by newcomers today in our world where people are expecting to be able to research anything online, get the information they need, and make a decision still online about participating in your congregation, whether that's online participation or on site. So I like to say that it's very unreasonable for someone online exploring your congregation to think that they could really get to a good sense of who you are, who your leaders are, what the tone of the congregation is. Are they going to belong? Is this going to be, or could this be my spiritual home? All from just web research, like online research. How could you accomplish all that, right? I mean, we would think if you want to know all that, you're going to have to visit us. But that's not the culture today. It's, I'm going to make my best informed decision based on my online research. And so I think what we can do is use strategic video content on visitor pages, meet the minister, other leaders, and just across areas of congregational life, so that we bring the best of our humanity, our leadership online, and really help people get a sense of who we are, what we care about. There's just a lot more that comes through when we're on video like this than just reading. So that's what I would hope for your congregations. If you have a minister, really prioritize getting that content online to really, it's like you're meeting with every single potential visitor on demand. It's like a two-way conversation, but you're just making your half of the conversation. So that's something I talk about a lot in my Video Message Academy for Congregations training program that goes in a lot more detail on content outlines. But so what questions do you have? There is if you're watching live with me now, there is a question box at the top of the chat. Let me know your questions. I have a few that were submitted in advance. So number one, how long should a Meet the Minister video be? Well, yes, we're in a world where there's a lot of, like attention spans are shorter. But when someone's on your website, they're very often in this like research mode where like, all right, I'm trying to discern, is this for me? And then in that sense, it's less about like, ooh, let's make this as short as possible, but more, what can we say to help the person looking at your minister's video develop a sense of rapport with them, to feel comfortable with them? And so that's like as long as it needs to be to cover the content that you really want to convey yourself, but as short as possible after that. So if you can cover everything you want in 5 minutes, make it 5 minutes. If you're like covering that content and you take 20 minutes to do it, time to edit. I would say like 5 to 10 minutes for a video of that kind could be great. I recorded a video with the interim minister at the congregation where my wife is on staff, to put on the website and share via social media, and that ended up being around 7 minutes. All right, another question. How to handle interim minister? Oh, perfect segue, Larry. All right, interim ministers. Sometimes people say, should we wait until we get our settled minister to make a Meet the Minister video? No. If you have an interim minister, you want a Meet the Minister video, absolutely, because what happens during interim ministry? There's been transition. There's a situation where it's like, things are different. Things are changing. There's a different leader. So to be able to share on your website a video introducing the interim minister, here's who they are. This is what interim ministry is, what we're going to be working about. And, so what's interim ministry like? What are the kind of things we'll be working on? And then I like to make sure you bring in personal things that can help connect people with you as a person. Like, how did you get into ministry? Different things. Like for my Unitarian Universalist friends, what does that mean to you? What's Unitarian Universalism about? How did you come? Like, when did you start in the congregation where you are now? What do you love about that congregation? Those sorts of things. So that can help not only as an interim, the people. It's like taking the people of the congregation you're serving. You're having a cup of coffee with them and getting to know them individually, but at scale. So it's like it accomplishes a lot. Another related question. Our interim minister is leaving July 1. Do we not have if we don't have a minister to replace them yet. So I think if you have a point where there's no minister, so you had a minister, that person left, there's an interim, and now there's just going to be a gap. People want to know, well, who's leading this place? Are there some key leaders that are really helping to guide your congregation during this time? So you can make a video where you're kind of a transition video where you're saying, hey, right now at congregation name, we are between settled ministers, and we're doing, and explain to people what you're doing. We're leading amazing lay-led services. We're bringing guest speakers and working towards, are you going to call a new minister? Whatever that is. And just so that when people land on your website, they can get a sense of like, oh, there's some great people who are leading this place. Peter seems really friendly, and just get a sense of, I think bottom line, having a leader on video on the website so that people can get a sense of like, the people here, they seem nice. Like it's a real human being that I can relate to, not like just an institution that's abstract. All right, other questions related to that. Let me just see. I got questions coming in a couple places. All right. How long did that one? Other questions. Where do you post the videos? So I would put it on either your staff page. Sometimes the way some of your websites are formatted, you can't easily embed a YouTube video, say, in your staff page or next to your minister, but you could add a link, say like video, meet Reverend so-and-so, to link that out. But also this video content can be shared via social media as well. So imagine you have an interim minister or a brand new minister to share that Meet the Minister video and just share that to your social media channels. On Facebook, I worked with a congregation recently where we put a video like that out, ran just a small Facebook campaign. It was like $25 that took that video and boosted it to, say they had this many people who are following their Facebook page, say it's like 400, but Facebook only shows things to a small fraction of the people on your page. So paying a little bit of money to show that to all the people who actually follow your page. So people are maybe tuned out during ministerial transition or some other period. You're like, hey, we have a new minister. Here's the new minister. Watch the video. And that was really effective. Also, Facebook you can do ad campaigns where you say, show this content to not the people who like our page, but people in the area around our congregation, say within 10 miles, who are similar to them, what Facebook calls a lookalike audience. So without your having to do any thinking about outreach targeting, you can just say, Facebook, show this to people who are just like us or similar in your opinion. So that can be really effective as well. All right, other questions. I'm going to check the chat here. Today, I've been experimenting with YouTube has a Q&A box feature you can put at the top of the chat. And so some questions coming in there, others by the main chat. Let's see. Tips to help make sure the minister comes across as relaxed, conversational, and as if they're really sitting there with you. Yet it can be hard. So tips for that. Number one, I'll tell you that I am starting to record congregational ministry video content with congregations that need help. So just know that that's a new service I'm starting to offer. I'm experimenting with it now, doing remote filming. So as both a lifelong UU and a television producer for 20 years on PBS Kids projects, it's actually fun for me to just take people who want to get it done and help film remotely and coach. So like, I want to affirm, when you say it's easy to be stiff and awkward, it can be very hard. So one of the things I'll do is actually, get the person talking in advance, have them do a few, like tell me a little about this or other subject that's not about the video, and get them kind of loosened up, which leads to, it can be great to actually have somebody film with the minister, or for whatever video content you're doing. It could be, some people film using Zoom. There's a lot of tools now where you can film remotely. So I won't go into that in this video. But imagine having someone who, say, you're a membership person or just a colleague, other leader in the congregation, there with your minister, but they know you're right there. You've talked through what you're going to be doing in the video, and then they deliver the content to an actual human being right there. Another thing you could do is have the person who's there come up. So take the outline of what you want to cover. We're going to say, we're going to welcome people. We're going to do this, talk about how you got into ministry, da 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 da, and then like what's happening in our congregation. You could have the person who's filming with the minister interview them. They could even be on camera and say, "Hey, I'm Peter. I am president of our congregation. We're here today with Reverend so-and-so. We want to introduce you to name, and just help you all get a sense of like," anyway, go into that. And then I just interview the minister using our list of questions. That can be great. And then if you wanted to, you could just edit out the person doing the interviewing afterwards, and you get this great video content that's a little more casual. I hope that helps. Other questions? Let's see. To make some relaxed. I do have my practice when I'm filming with ministers or anyone doing short form video content is what I'll do is we'll have an outline of what we're doing. So say there's like 5 things we're talking about. After each piece, like for each key item, we'll draft the text of what that person's going to say. So I'll give the person questions, say, we're going to do this extemporaneously, but I want you to write your responses down in advance. All right, often to come across naturally on camera. Doing the homework first makes it a lot easier. So doing the doing the prep where you've like, all right, I know what I'm going to say in response to these questions, and that your person on camera can read that in advance, just kind of review, all right, here's what I said. And then when it comes time, you're not so much having to think through everything, but you're delivering your story, your insights, your message that you've already crafted, but just again, from an outline. In response to some of the things we can cover, who you are, are you a called minister or a settled minister? Let people know what you want to cover. In this video, I'm going to cover X, Y, and Z. So I think it's always great to share kind of an overview of what you're going to cover in the video. And then it's really just your story. And I think your story from before you got into ministry through to how you came to be in this congregation and what do you love about that congregation. I work with lots and lots of Unitarian Universalists, being a lifelong UU. So if you're a Unitarian Universalist congregation, and why does that matter to you? And so it's just a combination of your story, why Unitarian Universalism is meaningful for you, and then about the congregation. And so I'll tell you again and again and again, I'm driving home the point. No matter what you're communicating about and why, I'm all saying we all need community. Friends are important. We're this great intergenerational community. It's a great time to get involved, and just like continually sharing that across all of your congregation's communications is so important today. I think I'll end by sharing a story that this fall, when I was just helping to greet people at the congregation I attend, and I'm someone who's like, I'm scanning and like I can tell a newcomer instantly. I'm just like, oh, newcomer, doot, 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 doot. And I'll introduce myself. The majority of newcomers that I talked to over the first few weeks of September were like, when I asked them about being there visiting for the first time, and I'd just ask like, oh, tell me about yourself. And they're like, so I need friends. Like, I just came out of my house. I need friends. And it's like, there's this real like, help me. I need friends. So I think, yes, want to connect people with your minister, but again, just be affirming again and again and again what your congregation is doing, what it's about, how you're actually helping people connect in community, making friends, living life together, what that looks like, and that it's a great time to get involved. So that's kind of an overview. If you have Any last questions? I think I got most of it. I'm going to wrap up now. I want you to know, again, I mentioned that I'm starting to do some remote filming with congregations across the United States, and also doing programs for you. I want to do more UUMA chapter groups, so like clergy chapter groups, workshops, and a little more hands-on sessions where we can script out video content together and really go through this more of an implementation way, just to help get that content on your websites, because it makes a difference for the people who are trying to determine if your congregation is really right for them, and for them to feel comfortable visiting, which is like a huge step for basically every human being. Like, to connect with a new religious community is a huge step. So we want to help them do so. So thank you for all of your leadership, everything you do in your congregation. Next week at this time, we're similar session, but we're talking about what's the role of video content on your first-time visitor page. All right, thank you all. I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a great day. Happy spring.